The event I attended was a Twitch stream. It was by your friend Kyle. It was on Twitch. The vibe was really relaxed, calm, chill. He started the video off with an intro, like most Twitch streamers do. Then he ended it with a outro, like most Twitch streamers do. It was, there's nothing like he was prepared. He's not really prepared. It's more of just go with what's happening. He just talked about what was happening currently in the game that he was playing. And it was really calm, relaxed. Not a lot of hand motions because he's using his hands to play the game, things like that. His tone, emotion, and inflection changed various times throughout the entire stream. He started off calm, relaxed. Then at certain points he was really bad at the game. At other points he was having the time of his life. Yeah, that's how game it is. Uh, liked how he was very intentional and how he was having fun while saying it. Like that he was having fun. The improved is like it could have a better structure, I guess. The structure was a little all over the place. So you start with one game mode, switch to another one, and then to a different one. Feel like could be have some more structure to that. The overall feeling and vibe of this event, I enjoyed it. It was pretty calm, relaxing, chilling. At times, very rowdy. It was a nice thing to watch while you're just chilling in bed. This relates to class because you can bring, if you're just talking regularly, it doesn't really do anything. But if you bring emotion and conviction into everything that you say, it adds structure, power, and relevance to what you're talking about. And that's what people want to hear. People don't want to hear you just ramble on and on about something that doesn't matter to you at all. The second event that I attended was I attended church at my local church in Texas over spring break, and not local church. Well, the church that I go to, it's in Louisiana. That's the church I went to. That's my church, and of the event, he like the pastor is very casual, and he likes to crack jokes. So he makes everyone feel involved and loved and welcomed. The event began with the music and the choir walking out to the music. And after the choir walked out, then it came the pastor and the deacons and all those things. And everyone walked in. They had like four songs played, and then we got to sit down. Then he did a sermon. And then after the sermon, he led everyone in prayer. It was a long sermon. It was at least like 3 hour sermon. Then after the sermon, we did a group prayer. And after group prayer, we got played out to some more music. That's how it ended. Individual speakers, they had the head pastor spoke once, and he had two of the other pastors also spoke twice. With the first pastor, the head pastor, he's very vocal and very powerful when he speaks. He speaks very strongly. Yeah, and he uses a lot of hands and emotion when he speaks. The second pastor, He's a little more. He doesn't use as much emotion, but he has very good control over his voice. So everyone in the room can hear him, even the people all the way in the back or up top on the second row can hear him very well. They were all very prepared with their different parts of the sermon. They had notes that they had on the I don't know what's it called. It's the stand thing that they stand behind. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, they had notes on that. They were flipping through it. I was at the Bible there as notes. His speaking style was it's like getting spoken to by one of your older family members. It's like a uncle or a grandparent. It's like yeah, an uncle. It's like an uncle or body language. Now in church, the speakers speak with body language that is heavily exaggerated. It's heavily exaggerated, and it also so is the hands. The hands are very exaggerated. The hand motions to be swinging his hands all around. Yeah, to be dancing. Eye contact. He held eye contact with most of the room. He would, since it's a huge number of people in the church at a time, he would be speaking and be looking around the whole entire room. He would look up to the second floor, so everyone would know that he would be looking at. He would be looking at the delivery methods. He used he would start off loud. It'd be like the first word of a sentence would be very loud, and then the second part would be very quick. She would be like, "God has a plan for everyone." That's that's an example of how he would do his things. Inflection, tone, and his emotion. His tone was I can't remember the word. His tone was it was not soothing, it was exciting. Oh, it was energetic. He had an energetic tone. Like you could really tell that he cared about what he was talking. And his emotion, he was very happy the entire time. The main pastor stands out mostly every time we do these things because he also incorporates singing into his uh, sermons, into his parts of the sermon. So his parts of the sermon would have some speaking and a few like singing speech. That's what he calls it. That's what he says he calls it. So he would like be speaking regular, sing a few words, and speak regular. Yeah, that's how he would do it. That's what stood out the most to me, the speaking style. We talked about yeah. So this lesson was over Genesis. So the first book of the Bible, over Genesis, the main part, like God created heaven and the earth. It was the Adam and Eve story. That's the we're speaking of. We improved. We improved was sometimes it was a little hard to understand what he was getting at. So I guess clarity in what he was speaking on could have been improved. And how this relates back to a public speaking class. It was when the how-to speeches. We were doing the how-to speeches. It was very important to have clarity in what you're saying and also know know what you're talking about and be able to say it to where other people can understand you very well. It's this one. The final event that I attended was My mom, I did a teacher observation. My mom's speaking to her kindergarten class. She teaches kindergarten at Fraser Elementary. It's the elementary school that I went to, and that's where she teaches now and has been teaching for 5 years now. Um, It began with the little ones sprinting into the classroom, all uncontrolled and very excited for the day. My mom was able to calm them down, tell them she said, everyone find your seats on the rug. Everyone would find their seats. Well, they would still be fidgeting because they're 5, so they don't really sit still very well. What I noticed about my mom when she talks to the 5-year-olds, she uses she uses a more understanding tone than when she would like yell at me or my little brother, because I guess since we're older. But yeah, she had a very calm and soothing tone, which is not how she talks. It's just not. She was very prepared. She had a lesson plan laid out. She had everything printed out that she would need to give to the kids. And the kids saw me. The kids loved me because they met my little brother. And my little brother, he doesn't smile a lot. When they saw me, I was smiling because it was really hilarious. They were. They had this one kid who was flipping off another kid. And I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, that was funny. Her body language. She's like a, how do you describe? I can't trying to figure out the word to describe the body she uses. The body language she uses is described as a powerful position. A powerful position. Yeah, and she used a lot of calming hand motions to keep the kids not scared. She has a powerful voice, a speaking voice. So she calms her voice down a little bit to where it doesn't sound like she's yelling at them, but so she can get her, like, she has to be able to talk over all the 35-year-olds that are yelling and speaking. Eye contact, she would look around the entire room to make sure each kid was doing what they were supposed to be doing. She has one kid, his name is Gavin, and he does not behave well. Because he was he's funny though. Gavin, he was my favorite kid. He's hilarious. Yeah, but he gave my mom some problems that day. The delivery methods, she would have to explain certain things more than once because the kids, it's easy to confuse a child when you ask them to do something. She asked one kid to bring me some scissors, to bring her some scissors, and the kid brought her the every pair of scissors in the classroom. Yeah. So she had this. I didn't need all of the scissors. I needed just one pair. So she had to change up her delivery methods because it was a different audience than uh, than 15-year-olds, which is the age of her kids. Part about the speaker that stood out was that she was stern with the kids, but she was also caring with them and also calm. She was stern, she was like, "Hey, stop that," but in a voice that wouldn't make a kid cry. Then the voice will be like, "Okay, I'll stop." Like her. Oh, and the theme of it was Pajama Day. The theme of the day was Pajama Day when I came because it was because I went there on a Friday because I was bored and I had nothing to do. So I went there on Friday for our spring break, which is a week before their spring break, and their final day of spring break they did a Pajama Day. Yes. All the kids were talking about is that your son that I see in all of your pictures? Yeah, they had lots of conversations with children. Yeah, they did. They do talk a lot, which is it was funny to hear to see the world from a kid's perspective again. It was funny. The overall vibe of her classroom is it's controlled chaos. That's what I like to call it, controlled chaos. Because it could sometimes it's all over the place, but at other times it's very concise and meaningful in all actions. The way that the way that my mom's kindergarten classroom connects to my college classroom is like on certain times, like during people's speeches, it could sometimes get out of control and they could get nervous. Like my first speech, I was nervous. And that was one of the most nerve wracking things that I've ever done. But I was able to get through it pretty easily. And the parent and once I got the feedback when they said I sounded confident even though I was not. I needed that and I enjoyed that. Yep.